Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in again. It is Tuesday, the 24th of June, and I'm here with the starry weather for the week, starting yesterday, Monday, the 23rd of June, and we're looking ahead until Sunday, what the energies are, and yeah, what we can expect to navigate through. And of course, energies always affect us very differently as we are all very uniquely wired and simultaneously, collectively, of course, we are all together in this mycelial network of energies, embodiment, connections. So, yes, big energies that are leading, piling up, culminating. And it's actually not so much culminating because of course we have a new moon tomorrow. So this today I'll be talking about the very obvious new moon that is forming. We are in the dark of the moon and tomorrow. So I'm here in Brisbane currently recording, and so tomorrow, the 25th of June, that's the Wednesday here, later in the evening at 8:30 p.m., we will have a new moon, a whole new monthly cycle that is starting, a whole new lunation. Excuse me, I'm still under the weather, haven't been able to shake it all, but anyway, it's all good. So, I will be looking at the sun that has been in Cancer now since the solstice. And I hope you all had a beautiful solstice, winter solstice here in the southern hemisphere, and summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. A time to celebrate, to go within, to, yeah, light candles, burn a fire, and yeah, burn away things that are no longer serving us. Anything, it's a reflective time, I feel, at this point in time. We're at the mid part of the year 2025, and what a year it has been so far. And so I feel that's where we are at at a midpoint right now, evaluating, readjusting, feeling into what's been serving me, what hasn't, how far have I come, what am I envisioning for the rest of the year, the next 6 months ahead. And yeah, so it's very powerful also in its manifestation qualities, because not just because we have a new moon, which is always a great time to put our intentions out there or just silently, quietly for ourselves, and to, yeah, really starting a process of planting some seeds, of feeling into what makes my heart sing, what excites me, what's my feeling world, what is my intuition. And the feeling world is really strong right now with the sun in Cancer, and tomorrow we will have the moon moving into Cancer. This new moon is at the early degrees of Cancer at 4 degrees. And also, as we can see here, there is a conjunction, a coming together with Jupiter. Jupiter, the most benevolent of planets, our guardian angel, our protector, the one that's guiding us, our inner mentor, our guardian angel. And in the sign of Cancer, Jupiter is exalted. Jupiter is in its most, yeah, joyful position here because, and it's, yes, Jupiter is joyful here, and Jupiter is also guiding us towards a greater self-awareness, an awareness of our emotions, of our feeling world, which can be quite enlarged, expanded. So we also need to be careful that our feelings, emotions are not blown out of proportion because we might be feeling so much. And if we have already a very unique, personal, watery setup, where we feel a lot, where we are great empaths, where we sense a lot of energies and where there is, yeah, a deep inner world there, we will feel a lot more. And I want to start also reading out of the Celestial Tarot by Brian Clark. And the card of the tarot card that's related to Cancer is the Chariot. It's the seventh card of the Major Arcana. It follows the card of the Lovers, Gemini, Mercury. So it's also interesting. I love thinking mythologically. I love thinking archetypally. And because in astrology, the zodiacal wheel shows us where we are at on our heroic journey through life, through slaying dragons of the past, encountering paradoxes, encountering our higher self, encountering our lower self, and encountering also how we, yeah, the masks we put on. And I'm saying all of that because I just finished another part of my 3 year training in body psychotherapy about the lower higher self and the mask, which is very powerful. And I have to think about Jupiter here. I feel Jupiter is our higher self. And I love that so much because yeah, we all, I feel like very often we know when we are in bullshit territory and when we come from a lower self-expression, and none of that shall ever be judged because it's really everything is valuable in the here and now. Whatever arises, whatever triggers us, we can expect, okay, if there is a big trigger, there is something happening with my lower self. And any kind of beliefs around that I won't be able to do this or I won't get there. All that juicy negative self-talk where we limit ourselves. And then we can track it back. Where does it come from? Usually not related to a current situation, a current person that is bringing up an issue for us. Of course, we want to be in the here and now, and it's important what's happening in the now. But the triggers we are feeling are usually tied in to some past unfulfilled needs as a child. So that's really crucial. And why I'm bringing that up is I feel Jupiter, our guardian angel, our higher self, also, this whole new moon is in a square, in a tension aspect to Saturn in Aries, Neptune in Aries. And I feel there is something, yeah, there is a maturation process here. There is, and the whole us evolving, our evolutionary journey is about maturing, is about becoming wiser, becoming more self-aware, and picking ourselves up on any yeah, any negative, unhealthy reactions to life, to situations, to people, projections. And again, and I feel to emphasize that, to not judge ourselves for that, but becoming more and more aware so we can grow through that and allowing the Jupiter higher self to be more and more powerful, and also envisioning a life. How would it feel if I was to actually let go of such core belief that I'm still holding? And I'm not shying away to talk about one of my big core beliefs around unworthiness of love, unworthiness of even being here. So that whole feeling unworthy. So, and that, and it can be so many different things for different people, of course. But I feel that sense of abandonment and rejection, which is highlighted here also by Chiron, Chiron, the wounded healer. He was the one that was abandoned, rejected, the outsider, the outcast. I don't fit in. I'm a stranger in a strange land. I'm different. I'm marginal. I also look after the people that are marginal, that are at a threshold. And while there's a lot of healing to in that mythology, it is really huge, as there is such a deep core wound. And in the myth of Chiron, Chiron was also physically wounded in his leg, in his ankle, by an arrow by Heracles. And and yeah, so there I feel in this setup, in this new moon tomorrow, there is a lot about healing and wounding, healing core wounds. And it's not just tomorrow, one day, it's already been leading up. Because also Jupiter, as soon as Jupiter moved into the sign of Cancer, which was only, when was that? Just a bit more than a week ago. When did we have that? 10th of June. Oh, well, 2 weeks ago. All right. So 10th of June, Jupiter moved into its exaltation of Cancer. And excuse me. So ever since Jupiter moved into Cancer, it immediately went into a square with Saturn, the boundary keeper, Saturn that says you can't, you shouldn't. There's a maturation process here already because Jupiter wants to expand, wants to have future visions, bringing in all the beautiful new possibilities. And I feel many of us have been already feeling like, whoa, all of a sudden this came up and it's like a dream come true. And yeah, that sense of, yeah, a lot of positive flowing energies that have been already set in motion since for the last 2 weeks. And simultaneously, there is also a reality check here with Saturn is okay. So we could have a lot of back and forth within push and pull. I would love that to happen. I would, um, yeah, I would. Sorry, I'm just gonna look up something that I want to make sure that I'm actually recording here. Weirder things have happened. Yes, it's happening. Here you go. Push and pull. And yeah, so we want to move something forward, but we also, there can be insecurities. We may not have all the answers. We don't know what it's going to look like. With Neptune here, is it all an illusion? Am I in reality check? Am I fantasizing? Am I, what is it that I want? Also, I feel there's a lot of a dream-like energy as well. It's such it can feel really paradox at times because there is so much forwards movement and engaging with our dreams, with our hopes and longings and desires. And then there's also that a stern, serious part that wants to remind us, okay, like you don't have to rush forwards. Yes, because there's a lot of Aries energy. Aries loves to initiate, to push ahead, run ahead. And I feel the lesson in all of this is also to let's be very present. Let's meet each moment where we are at, what the moment presents itself with, and make a decision as as life presents itself, rather than projecting onto the future or into situations, because things will unfold as they will. And I also feel with this new moon tomorrow, there is a great, beautiful, joyful, benevolent, forward moving flow. A new moon in Cancer together with Jupiter. It's also the rebirthing of Jupiter. It's the sun shining its light onto the most expansive of planets. So we are also, there is this light that is shining onto our feeling world, our deep emotions, our intuition. Where does it all come from? So we have a really beautiful opportunity here, and for the whole lunation, a whole month ahead of going on to a deep dive into our feeling world, readjusting, tuning in, growing, maturing, and okay, I'm done with this pattern. This is a new beginning, a new start. I'm birthing myself into each moment, the old version. I can die to this old version of me. And also, we have Mars in the sign of Virgo, very practical until around the 7th of August. We have a lot of, yeah, practicality, which we really need, I feel, with a lot of water, which we can drown in our emotions if we're not careful. But then I feel a sextile to Mars, very benevolent, that is pulling us out of any kind of victim role, self-pity, um, any of that, where I feel, okay, Mars is reminding us, be practical, be just focus on the task at hand. We are very, we are hands-on. We are practical, bringing ourselves down to earth, moving forwards in that sense. There's also a beautiful, yeah, there's a feminine flow, especially also with Venus still the whole week moving through the sign of Taurus into early July, 6th or 7th of July. Venus will be in Taurus. So that's a strong earthly quality. And Venus is beautifully aligned with this Mars, both in air signs. And we are, I feel, anchored in the earth, which we need because we can often be too much out there or too much, yeah, in that emotional dilemma at times. So I just want to read out of my little book on the Celestial Tarot. And yeah, I started on that. So this heroic journey is now taking us into the fourth house of the zodiacal wheel. The first house, Aries, which is our I amness, how we start the journey. We are moving ahead. We're in awe. There is an innocence and also an a sort of a pushiness maybe. There's an immaturity in a way, but there's also a knowingness that yeah, I'm on my journey. I'm gonna encounter everything. And there is also a feistiness. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this journey. And then in the second house, we meet Taurus, ruled by Venus, the feminine. So we also always have the masculine, feminine principles weaving in together and creating a beautiful yin and yang quality. So first we have fire, Aries, then Earth, Taurus ruled by Venus. We're connecting with our value system, our again worthiness, our yeah, our how much value do I put upon myself? We are encountering a deep sense of an embodiment, also a connection with, excuse me, a connection with everything that is mundane, that is in the world, my connection with possessions in this world, with money. So we're learning a lot about these earthy energies. Then we come into the third house, ruled by Gemini. We are encountering our environment. We are traveling. We're in a mercurial space. We start to communicate, learn about relationships with our siblings first, with our early peers and early encounters. We are moving along quite swiftly, actually. And then that's the air quality. And the last quality is water, which we're encountering now in the sign of Cancer. And I can't demonstrate it right here, right now in this chart because I drew a chart for Brisbane, where I'm right now at 8:30 a.m. Oh, actually, sorry, this is a chart for tomorrow's new moon, PM. So anyway, we're not starting the chart right now at Aries. So that's why you see the Cancer situation, the new moon in the fifth house. But we're not focusing on that. But in the zodiacal wheel, Cancer is the fourth house. So that's the watery quality of deep emotions, of our nucleus, traditions, early upbringing, values, family values, and yeah, very deep connection there. So in the tarot, the chariot, the seventh card of the major arcana, is Cancer, the mother and the hero. And I really love that because, yeah, we are on a very heroic journey. And here something in this fourth sign, there is some endings. It's a house of endings. Um, we have the first house is the house of joy, of beginnings. Then we have a house of substance. We have the house of air, of movement. And we have, yeah, the fourth house is about a house of endings and a deep relating to ourselves. And here it says the myth describes the heroic struggle to separate from the all-pervading atmosphere of attachments that prohibit us from moving into the world, from moving out into the world. The card suggests that it is imperative to take reign of the emotional life and purposely direct it forward. Inertia needs to be overcome to glimpse the horizon of possibilities. Um, yeah, I feel that is quite profound as well, because yes, we are on that heroic journey. And also Cancer, it's also, we could feel a paradox as well. There's the new moon holds the energy of forwards movement, new possibilities, venturing out and expanding our visions. And then there's also Cancer has the quality of going within. When we think about the crab, our shell, we want to hide, we don't want to be out in the world, we don't want to be seen. We even might feel the opposite. We want to have a break and stay away from people, have a lot of solitude, quiet time. So I feel also really important to acknowledge all of that, what we're feeling. We might be processing a lot, going through a lot, feeling deeply into that inner world, which requires more solitude, more time on our own, requires maybe time to meet up with a trusted therapist, a holistic practitioner to shift, move things. So it can be, we can be feeling everything on the scale, particularly as our emotional world is expanded by Jupiter, while it's benevolent, positive, while, yeah, this is one of the most beautiful, joyful times. And so this week holds so much potential and so much beauty. And we are also real about things. We have the, yeah, the down to earthiness that's coming in. Then we have Pluto is in an aspect here as well, in a dialogue with Mars, and there is transformation, deep transformation. I want to move forward, no more of any, yeah, self-fulfilling prophecies. No, I can let go. I'm moving on, and in a whole new way of self-expression. And also the South Node keeps reminding us to discern, being very, yeah, being discerning, being and observing. There is a big observer self kicking in as well. The observer around, yeah, observing ourselves. Where am I coming from? Is this, does it feel, am I feeling at ease? And I guess we can always check in with ourselves easily that, does it feel, am I at ease? Is there a flow? Does it feel uncomfortable? Is there, and we can, and without pushing it away or wanting the discomfort to leave, we can be non-judgmental in that whole approach and allow everything to arise. And I feel it's beautiful. We have a lot of water, we're having earth, there is fire, and hardly any air. So we could lack perspective, we could lack an eagle's eye view. So it's really important to rise above and don't get attached to any sudden feelings, triggers. And also this week, as we are moving ahead, we will also have Mercury is a huge player this week, still in the sign of Cancer, coming into a sextile, into a beautiful aspect with Uranus. So 26th, 27th can be beautiful days of excitement, new developments, particularly, yeah, around the 26th on Thursday here. There can be excitement and also being aware Mercury and Uranus rule the nervous system. So being gentle, being kind, not pushing too much, running ahead of ourselves. And then also this Mercury comes into, moves into Leo Also, this Leo is going to be the sign where Mercury will go retrograde in July, and I'll talk about that in my next podcast because then by that time we're coming close to Mercury's shadow phase. Anyway, so Mercury comes into immediate contact in a beautiful supportive trine to Saturn and Neptune. There is forwards movement, there is a fiery energy, a good time to think, communicate, have a deep there's again forwards movement, there is adventurism, there is excitement. Also being a bit maybe aware of our negative ego if we are maybe again wanting to be too pushy, run ahead, being wanting to be right, any kind of such notion important to watch out for. And also the trine to Neptune, I feel there is a greater vision that wants to open there's a lot of smoothness here. It's beautiful energies that are guiding us forwards. And then as we come to the end of the week, like um 29th, 30th of June, Mercury is in a big Mercury is the psychopomp, the hypnotherapy is the one that takes us deeply into our subconscious, opposing Pluto, 29th, 30th. So there could be power struggles. We may want to be aware of communication styles, overpowering one another because it's in fixed signs. No one wants to give in. Pluto is very strong here, so there can be, I feel like any kind of power struggles or resisting change, fighting something that someone says, I don't want to hear this. Being very aware of our communication, 29th, 30th of June. So what we put out there, what we say, we can't take it back. So we want to be cautious. And also and Pluto and it's interesting because Pluto and Mercury, they're both archetypes that take us into our subconscious that we meet when we are at a crossroad. So maybe we can be aware of that. And where is there an internal dialogue, a push and pull of moving forwards, not wanting to let go of the past, fighting something, feeling very triggered by what someone says, power games. So we don't want to engage in any of that, but being very observant of where we are at. What are my triggers here? What's my core belief around what's happening? Where might I want to be right or feel like, oh, I'm the authority here? What do you know? Or any such thing. So it's all interesting what's unfolding here. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave you with this overall a beautiful, benevolent lunation that is opening up a big container of possibilities, new exciting developments, and also being aware that so and it's everything is forward moving. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. We're moving forwards and we don't have to rush. We all exist, and as Bajar says, we will never not exist. And what's the rush? And I really feel that. So if we feel we need a break, allow it. If our lower self pops up and wants to have a word and feels very strongly emotionally attached to something, maybe we can observe and finally also have a bit of a laugh and say, whoa, I'm still believing that. That's very interesting. Yeah. All right, I'll leave you with it. Have a beautiful new moon tomorrow. Lots of new beginnings and planting your seeds. And as always, I love hearing about you. And I will also put my new website in the bottom of my summary on my YouTube channel. And if you like my contents and feel generous, then on my website I also have a donation site, a donation page where you can make a small donation or whatever you feel like, if you resonate and if you want to show your support, monetary, financially. And yeah, I'll leave you with that. So much love. Bye for now. Thanks for listening.